for some buybacks and could have been a tier 3 as well. And I don't have a Roshan charm in because I reconnected into the game. That's fantastic.
Vanish.
Unstoppable. Wicked sick. Double kill. Killing spree. Ownage. Monster kill. Triple kill. Lost with me.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Watch my head.
I'm back and there's a team fight. There's 4 heroes down. Mid eSports. This is disgusting. I apologize once again, guys. Game crashed for the 7th time. Isn't this fantastic? And Mid eSports once again cleaning up stocks. Take a 4-for-1 hero trade. And Weaver, he didn't die. That once that BKB popped, ripped through all these heroes. I'm just presuming right now. You all know what happened. But this is saddening. Game, please. So Snatch steal. They have given the game straight back into Myth eSports. Myth eSports have now taken the lead for the first time in the game since the 13-minute mark. So they're now back in and they're going hard. They're going strong. They only lost to Marana. Marana now has actually, we're getting a little bit of initiation up, down in this bottom lane here. They found him. They popped the Lincoln. Will he need to use that BKP? No, he won't. They don't have any additional lockdown. They don't have any revelation.
G'day guys, it's the Hammer here. Unfortunately, during this game, Dodioshi had to jump into another game to cast, so I'm going to do my best to attempt to cast the rest of this game. I apologise in advance. So, Snatch still are moving towards the middle lane here. Myth are farming their jungle. Not a lot going on. If we look at the net worth, we see Weaver is well in front. He has his Desolator, Lincoln Sphere, BKB. BKB is obviously to counter the large amount of magical damage that Snatch still have. Invoker, Rubik, Veno. Not going to help him against the Life Stealer though. Weaver's just hiding away. Letting Invoker push the lane back up. And Clocky's just farming the top lane. If we have a look at the difference in gold earn, we see that Snatch still actually pulled well in front about the 25-minute mark, and Myth have pulled it right back into their favour in the past 10 minutes. If we look at the XP graph, it is very similar. In fact, Myth actually have a 5k XP lead now, after being nearly 10k down. So Weaver is pushing the bottom lane again. Just seem to be in a very much of a farming stage here. Elk is taking out the triple stack of Ancients with the help of OD. And Invoker's defending the top tower. Invoker's picked up a BKB. Obviously to counter the OD, the damage that OD would put out. There is a lot of physical damage from Myth in, Marana and Weaver. Elky probably not so much, given he's built more assist items. Seems to be getting wards and the medallion. Snatch still now rotating in to have a look at Rosh, who is not yet respawned. So it seems both teams are sort of pulled back and are just playing a very defensive game, farming up some more core items before they attempt another engagement. You can see Tinky's got his Mecha, 4-star BKB, as well as his treads. Adro on the Lifestealer has Sage and Yashar, Armlet and Basher, as well as Drums. And both teams are just continuing to farm. Clockwork has picked up his BKB. Again, probably mainly to counter the CC in the stun, given that there's only the one magical damage output in Outward Devour.
Boom! There it goes.
Invoker's pushed bottom lane back up and is backing off. Continuing to push with his Forge Spirit, so. The Weaver is continuing to push the lanes, sort of jumping between top and bottom. And we might be setting up for something here. There's a smoke up. And here come Myth. Heading towards Optic on the Rubik. I think Optic's in a lot of trouble here. He's been shifted by OD. Elky has the stun coming. And there he is. Exploded in very, very quickly. Very short space of time. So that should just about be a tower for Myth, I would say. At the same time, the creeps are pushing the bottom tower though. In the meantime, Snatch have decided to take Rosh out. So Steeler will pick up the Aegis, and Snatch Steel will lose their tier 2 tower top. A reasonable amount of damage being put out onto this tier 3 tower here. The glyph comes in. Invoker's coming up. Clockies with a good hook. Been shifted by OD though. Weaver's gone godlike. And he will take out Veno as well. Taking out Rubik. Weaver as a triple kill. Shadow Demon's taken out Lifestealer. There's been buybacks on the Snatch Steel, trying to defend this Rax. Lots of wards up from Venomancer. And Myth are quite happy with their tier 3 tower and they back off to farm a bit more. And D-ward on their way past with the gem that Mirana's just picked up, which I believe Invoker had. Steel has picked up Travels. May employ some sort of Rat Dodo a technique. I'm unsure. I have a feeling they could have been more useful with some different core items. I don't know if anyone else has picked up a Assault Cuirass, but surely that would have been useful. And it looks like both teams are falling back into their farming phase, pushing lanes. The Weaver pushing bottom tower again, as he's been doing, and heading back into the neutrals to farm. He's also just picked up his Butterfly. Quite a useful pickup, that avoidance coming from the Talisman of Evasion. Quite useful. And Steelers farming again. Steeler also lost the Aegis in that fight, so there's a big turnaround there. If we have a look at the difference in gold, Myth are almost 10k in front, or 7.5k in front gold-wise now, and well over 10k in front with XP. Have an engagement in the mid. Looks like Mirana's going to be in trouble. Mirana goes down. Going to jump onto the Alki. Aldro waiting for a proc on his Basher. Oh, very nice hook shot there from the Clockwork to take out an Alchemist. But at the meantime, Weaver has almost taken out that bottom tier 3. Adro trying to get a bash on him. And a nice back in time there. Manages to take out the Rubik as well. Hitting quite hard at the moment, this Weaver. And they continue to chase him, even with his Shikuchi. And Adro decides to go kill some neutrals instead. So this bottom tier 3 tower is now back to 577 health. And it looks like Myth have gone back to farming. Pushing bottom lane up. Or are they heading in to engage? Clockwork and Veno, both in very vulnerable spots. And they're heading back to their tower with Invoker. Yes. Venomancer is just putting a defensive line up on this tower. Push the creep. Push back. And Myth are converging on top lane. They look like they want to finish that Rax off. So another team engagement will be coming. Snatch are falling back to defend it. It'll be interesting to see how they play this. With no tower, Weaver can get up there. Clocky's doing a bit of harassment damage with that rocket. And OD is hitting very, very hard. OD's ulti takes out Rubik in basically one shot. Steeler's trying to get some down on Weaver, but doesn't get anywhere really. Clockwork's in a lot of trouble. Clockwork's down. That's another gem. OD gets a nice shift there. Clockwork buyback. Rubik is going down. The stun from Elky. Rubik is down. Marana's managed to take out Invoker at the same time. And that will be a top Rax for Myth Gaming. Myth eSports. Clocky is trying to turn it around here. Managed to get stunned by Marana. A very nice arrow there. Was almost through her tally. Realised she wasn't going to make it. Oh, and a lovely hook from Clocky's managed to take her out. Shadow Demon with a shift, 4 staff, and tally away. Very nicely played. So, at the end of that, Myth have managed to Rax the top lane, which you'd have to say is a major advantage at this stage of the game. And Elky's back in the mid, pushing it back again. So again, we go to this difference in XP earned. Myth are pulling ahead again, even further. They're up over 12k now. And the gold is heading towards 10k. And those core items, especially that the Weaver, getting very, very farmed. 28 or 27.5k net worth. That is absolutely huge. And as we can see here, every player from Snatch Steel bought back in that previous engagement. No, that's gold. So it's just Clockwork by the looks of it. So Snatch still playing quite defensively now, just pushing the lanes back from their base, and that's about it. Not really overextending themselves too much. Weaver is very interested in this Invoker though. He's moving in on Invoker. Invoker, Cyclones, and runs. Gets away fairly easily in the end. Clockwork comes down there to support him. And it looks like Myth are playing a bit of a split push here with Tinky in the top lane. With the Marana. While the other three have pushed bottom lane back up. And it looks like they're now swinging to middle, possibly to take that final tower out. So Elky's got himself a 4 staff. And I can only guess he's building a BKB with the Ogre Axe and the Mithril Hammer. So